I am from the rainforest, the small wooden windows, and wet teas hung up on clothespins. I am from Sundays only spent with my 7 other brothers and sisters and cooking meals with my mother. I'm from Quito, Ecuador, Spanish rice, and homemade tamales.
After 2 weeks in Ecuador, Adam the Woo is a changed man, faced with the culture, the people, the history. He's looking at the inward man and answering life's biggest questions. What has been his most important takeaway during this healing time?
So if you have a drink, they never say put your drink away. Every kind of place like this, like a museum or a public entry place or a tourist attraction, all of them let you bring a drink in.
Wait, that's your big takeaway? Oh. Well, I guess that tracks, doesn't it? Let's get into the video.
Today's adventure begins walking down this muddy path.
And I promise you, never has the word adventure been said more loosely.
I am walking to church.
Well, I do hope you've got additional directions, or maybe you're going to a baptismal service, Adam.
The rest of my family members are taking a taxi.
Yeah, Adam was very confused. Everybody in his party kept pointing and saying malo la gente. So he's going to walk the 1 mile.
Welcome everyone, Adam the Woo here. No matter where the day leads, no matter what I do, even though it is impromptu and unplanned today, I'm just winging it.
Okay, Woovians, break out the depends, because you're going to need them. This is the wild and crazy guy we know and love. Heck it!
Also wearing my hat. I will obviously take it off the church building. I was noticing last week when I was going to church, didn't wear the hat. It was very sunny.
As enthralling as you and your uncle's hat choice is, can we move on already?
Hello there. Hello there.
Ecuadorian lassie. I didn't think I'd see you here. What's that girl? Timmy en un pozo? Oh, I'm sorry. You just saw a creepy guy in a hat. Yeah, that's Adam. He's harmless.
So right now, 55 degrees at 8:30. 1 p.m., however, take a look at this. It's going to be 68 degrees, 13 degrees warmer.
13 degrees warmer? Oh my goodness, meteorologist Woo. You need to get underground now.
Thing I have noticed in traversing around the landscape of different cities, graffiti is a big thing.
And you know, that's what the Woovians love about Adam. His unique take on the world, his unique perspective. So things that he's noticed about Ecuador, I think we need to keep track of that. I think we need to make a list of the things that Adam has noticed. We've already heard 2. So let's start off our list. The things Adam has noticed about Ecuador.
Number 1, can carry a beverage anywhere. Number 2, graffiti is big in Ecuador.
It looks like, I thought maybe that was the Grinch down there.
I wanted to give Adam a hard time about this, but yeah, I can see it. It kind of looks like the Grinch.
A version that looks Grinchish, but it's not the Grinch. Here is a rat. This is not Mickey. That is not Mickey Mouse. That is, in fact, a rat.
Yeah, I can't help you with that one, Adam. You just went with an easy go-to, one of the things that occupy your mind from time to time, and you're obsessed with people in costume. Now, this next clip may be the most shoehorned pop culture reference ever by Adam. It doesn't work, but he doubles and triples down and won't stop talking about it.
And this is a vampire, I could tell. Maybe one of the Lost Boys right there. Maybe one of the Frog Brothers. Maybe one of the long-lost Frog Brothers. Well, actually, the Frog Brothers didn't become vampires. I don't know what I'm saying, but yeah. A little Lost Boys reference. See the earring there and the vampire fangs.
I'm sorry. That was painful. But we did it together. And if you're thinking, is this indicative of this video for Adam? Oh yeah. Adam had nothing this video. Nothing.
This is a grocery store, convenience store. More spray paint graffiti here, see?
So much pointing out the obvious, but it does reinforce things he noticed. Number 2, graffiti is indeed big in Ecuador.
Little roundabout right here.
No, there's no way. There's no way. He's not going to mention England. He's not going to mention European vacation. He can't. He mentioned it so many times.
Big Ben, Parliament.
Adam, you ignorant slut. Don't you know you're supposed to take away something from Ecuador, not conform it to all of your other nonsense?
There goes the Tranvia.
He truly is losing his mind. He really is angry that he's still there at this point.
I love walking around, no plan, just seeing things, wonderful things.
Adam's in full-on panic mode. He notices the views continuing to drop. The lifestyle is in jeopardy of being impacted. There's nothing really going on in Cuenca today. So, walk and talk, point and click, see and say.
Here we go. Cuenca. I guess that would probably be November 1985. Great year for me because...
You know, folks, this is outrageous. Why would Adam, of course, mention anything about this monument to Simón Bolívar, El Libertador, the person who gave independence to 6 South American countries, including Ecuador? No, Adam can't be bothered because Simón Bolívar is nothing compared to Adam and his love of Disney and his love of 1985.
Nintendo Entertainment System. First time I got that in Christmas of '85. And also Back to the Future came out in 1985. 85 was a formidable year for me. And probably this gentleman too. What a year to be alive. What a time. What a time to develop interests.
What a time to develop interests. And, oh yeah, Simón Bolívar was loving it. He loved 1985. He'd only been dead for 155 years. Ugh.
Loving all the different spray paint items through here. All the different artistic renderings.
As you all may or may not know, that's the one I particularly can't stand, artistic renderings.
I'll take a look at this. Matthew Broderick?
Senior Wu with the pop culture reference. And then he mentions another film just out of nowhere.
Mike Myers' Cat in the Hat. Probably worse than the Inspector Gadget film. Yes, definitely. Oh. Nice. Getting that moment.
What the heck was even that? I thought Adam was flashing back to those owls he saw at the zoo. Getting that moment? For who? For elderly Wu that's looking back on these videos? What moment?
And just like the church I went to last Sunday, Quito, they speak Spanish.
Yep, not too much gets by Adam.
I do not. I'm not fluent. In fact, I know very little Spanish.
I feel like even saying you know very little Spanish gives you too much credit.
So I just kind of sit there for the ambiance and the vibe. I don't really know what they're saying, but kind of a cool experience.
Yeah, all part of the experience, right, Adam? Has nothing to do with personal faith or belief. No, not at all. Just another when in Rome moment.
All the shutters are down on these businesses. Here's a jacuzzi. Got a face right here. What is this, a double-decker bus? What am I, back in London?
Did you guys know that he went to London? Again, Adam has nothing. He's trying to monetize a 1-mile walk to church. Left his family, who went in taxis. He decided to heck it. So pointing, clicking, talking, riveting stuff.
That's an armadillo. A relic of an old bus. Look at this vintage piece of goodness. Or maybe new, but made to look old.
Wu just continuing to spout absolute nonsense, nothingness, and the Wuvians are saying it's the greatest series of videos that he's ever done.
I do love the architecture here. Especially when you kind of get up high, there's a lot of really good overlooks and cityscape views when you're up elevated on the side of hill.
That was definitely a kick Adam has been on for this trip. He needed to get above everything, this bird's eye view, a Adam deluxe tour, if you will.
Oh, pigeon. How you doing? Beautiful white pigeon. Walking along the cobblestone. Very picturesque.
Adam is so moved that he not only says picturesque once, he says it twice.
There's a taxi. And check it out. There's a payphone. There's a freaking payphone.
Somebody said on the Reddit that, oh, well, you know, we've seen worse on the Travel Channel. No, you haven't. No, you haven't. Never.
Hey, Pooch. What you doing? What you doing? I noticed the dogs here. They're not really too concerned with humans. They just do their own thing. They won't really just continue. They go on their own agenda. I've just noticed that here.
Number 3, dogs don't notice humans. They just do their own thing and agenda.
Yogi Berra once said, when you come to a fork in the road, take it.
I would love to know when Adam first heard that. He has said that Yogi Berra quote possibly more than anything, any reference ever.
Walking the cobblestone. Just loving the...
You may think he finishes that thought. He does not. Those are my favorite Adam moments, when he thinks something will come and it just doesn't.
There's nothing but pigeons and me.
Nothing But Pigeons and Me. A biography of Adam the Wu by Random House Books. Try the new audio version as read by Tampa J.
Well, leaving the church. Got some more artwork here on the wall. A little fruit market over here next to the church. There are some familiar fruit items through here, but we're trying to figure out exactly what these are.
Truly just a waste of a video. So much just nothingness in this. Remember when the Daily Woo used to be under 5-minute videos? The one thing Adam has done, and he's done very little to try and improve his channel, but when it came to money, he was smart enough to go with the times. Whatever the length changed to get maximum profit for your video, Adam would adjust.
Classic car and taxi alert. See some pigeons. I do need to get a cup of Joe, a cup of coffee here. Another church right here. More pigeons here than I have at a long. I saw some pigeons, obviously, when I was in London, but there weren't as many pigeons as I thought there were going to be.
Just more inane prattling on, but thankfully, no tuppence a bag references today.
All right, my mom and uncle are going to taxi back to his place. I'm going to go over here. Looks like that I see a little bakery and coffee shop. Get a cup of coffee. Success. This was a little bigger than a teeny tiny coffee. It's just kind of, I call this a small.
Fascinating. He got a slightly larger coffee, but it's still very small. Ecuadorian coffee is stronger, thus you don't need these larger cups. We've heard this over and over and over.
A municipal museum of modern art. Yeah, pop in there. See if it's see what's happening inside. It looks to be open, so check it out.
Well, beggar Adam can't be a chooser. Few things are open, and he needs something to fill this time with, so he manages to find an art museum. Even though he loathes art museums, he decides to go, and guess what? It's free! Can you believe it? Free for Adam the Woo, and he even manages to notice a date on a plaque. Outside of that, a lot of silence. Looks like the head of a former Wuvian Facebook mod who stepped out of line.
Seeping out of the sewer there, and he's got himself what looks to be like a newspaper. All art, every person that looks at art interprets it differently, so I don't know what I think about this.
Cultural woo. When Adam puts the mirror to himself, it's pretty enlightening. He says that everyone has their own interpretation of art, and as for him, he doesn't know what he feels.
Okay, this is a little different. So you have the artwork here. You had a tomato there. You had a bed of the window here. Take a look at these locusts. They are locusts mounted on the side of each of the frames.
Yeah, but those locusts were alive during the beginning of this video. They couldn't make it.
Okay, this one's a little bit unusual. I walked through these drapes in the corner. I thought maybe there'd be an exhibit in here, but in fact, the art piece is the drapes.
Hello, darkness, my old woo. This is actually the living embodiment of a nightmare that Wu has. He can hear, and he can even maybe see in the distance the entrance to Epic Universe. But no matter what he does, he never gets there. Forever banned. Forever. 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 Adam says nothing and is just kind of like, yep, that was the art museum.
All right, kind of getting my bearings now. If you look down past this barbed wire and this wrought iron fence, I can see the river down there.
So Adam starts his epic journey back to the river, back to his family.
Also, you gotta watch your footing. No Ubers either, no ride shares, only taxis. If you go on the Uber app or Lyft or any of the ride share apps, done.
Yep, not allowed in Cuenca. Now, if you had looked it up, you would have known that ahead of time. They are in Quito, but not Cuenca.
I'm really enjoying walking around, stretching my legs, doing my own thing.
Yep, of course, Adam really needs to reinforce that this group has really cramped his style. If only he had been out on his own. These videos, folks, these videos would have been much better. But, you know, this is my family community service. This is really me giving back to them.
Rock wall's been painted, and also some signatures. I don't know if this constitutes as two of them linking into one, but take a look at that. Right now, here's where Pennywise lives. Right in there, you know, from It the Clown.
Yeah, no, we get it. We get it. We know what you're referencing. And, you know, Adam really enjoyed this one. He even did a whole Instagram thing on it and had a Pennywise animation. He thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, when I think of Demon Babies, I think of Dead Alive also. That was a good one, the whole playground scene. Peter Jackson classic, way before Lord of the Rings. Just make sure if you're gonna watch it, watch the unrated version. Don't watch the chopped up, edited version because it's just boring. You wanna watch the unrated, insanely gory classic. Peter Jackson classic before Lord of the Rings.
And don't get me wrong, nothing wrong with horror movies. I've seen Dead Alive. I've seen it once, years ago. Adam has seen it many times. But I always wonder how the Woovians are like, oh, Adam is such a nice young man, goes to church with his mother, appreciates art. I wonder how they square that with Adam really wanting to emphasize the things that he's into. Because he doesn't shy away from that. As much as we talk about him portraying himself as Mr. Rogers, he wants you to know he's into some gory things. But I wonder if it just goes in one ear and out the other of the shut-in Woovians. Always curious about that.
That is like some dirty water. Dirty water. You know, I don't know why, I just thought of the band Green Apple Quickstep. They had a song called Dirty Water Ocean. I don't even think it was a hit, but it was like their most popular song, a non-one-hit wonder. I don't know if anyone out there has ever heard of Green Apple Quickstep, but they had a song, Dirty Water Ocean. When I think of dirty water, I think of that band. I have no idea.
I had to show that in its entirety. Adam, twice and going into a third time to say he doesn't know why he thinks of Green Apple Quickstep when he sees dirty water. But then he says every time he sees dirty water, he thinks of their song, Dirty Water Ocean. But then he goes back to say, but I don't know why I think of them. It's enough to make your brain bleed.
I've seen some signs.
Wait, you've seen signs? Adam the Woo has seen signs. Alert the Ecuadorian press.
I was talking to my aunt and uncle. Evidently, Sting either just performed here or is going to perform here, I think, at the soccer stadium. It should be a pretty good turnout. Sting from the Police.
I love that Adam's acting like no one is familiar with Sting. He has to put from the Police. You're like, oh yeah, from the Police. Sting, yeah. Sure, why didn't you say so?
Think of Rob Schneider. An SNL skit. Making copies when Sting was on the SNL.
Yeah, most definitely. When anybody has a Rob Schneider or a Sting memory, I'm sure it goes right back to that. Timely reference, Adam.
Something else I've noticed here. There are either, well, it's probably because a lot of the dogs are wild dogs, but there is just a lot of defecation, dog dung.
Number 4, lots of dog dung.
So Adam Woo explains what is very hard for him to comprehend, that there are certain dogs that don't have owners. What?
When you're walking, you really got to be careful where you step. There's an alien right here. But I am loving all this guerrilla style artwork. Probably not sanctioned by the city, but artists come in here and do it.
Of course, Adam makes this statement based on absolutely nothing. And in fact, I would think the city was probably involved in having people come in and do this because it is a tourist attraction, Adam. You are a tourist.
Look at this archaic piece of playground equipment.
This is another favorite word of Adam's lately. Anything slightly old or different in Adam's perspective is archaic.
Let me back up. There we go. There I am. So speed limit, kilometers, not miles, and then I believe this means no parking. My uncle was telling me something about this court here. I'm not sure if that's what they're using it for now. It might just be like a family function. But this court over here is what I would know as a volleyball court. They don't call it volleyball here, though. It's like a makeshift version of volleyball called volley.
Yep. Very popular in Ecuador. They have their own version of it called Equivolley. Sometimes even just called volley. It has also spread to the United States and Colombia. It's very true, Adam. And you could have added in that.
You may have heard of Club 33 at Disney, the exclusive club. It's very difficult to get in. But did you know here, they have Plaza 33.
I would say Adam knows about as much about Plaza 33 as he does Disney's Club 33.
It's like the metamorphosis of frogs. Got the small frog, bigger frog, and the biggest frog. Oh, this looks like the Rays logo, Tampa Bay Rays logo. Spring training has already begun. Pitchers and catchers reported.
And Adam's not sure, though. He can't commit to going to a spring training game. Probably won't. He can't sit still. Loves baseball. Loves it so much. But can't commit to actually going to any games. Might go to a few regular season. He's just not sure.
I think I'm back over to the family neighborhood. I think I'm going to relax for a little bit, hang out with the fam. Absolutely feels a lot better with the shade of the balcony.
Adam able to oversee his town, wearing his big plantation hat.
And carry on. You definitely notice the elevation more here.
Number 5, definitely notice the elevation more here.
But it hasn't been too bad. Hasn't been too bad. I think I'm starting to get acclimated to it, just in time to leave. Another country next month. Trying to do one country, one international country, at least one international country every month from here on out. Sometimes it might be a week, sometimes it might be 2 weeks, sometimes it might be more, sometimes it might be less, but that's what I'm trying to do.
One of the things that Adam has so desperately tried to do, all the way back since its feed store days, is rid his life of any responsibility whatsoever. He hates it. He runs from it like the plague. So now, he doesn't want to be held to any standard whatsoever. He may stay gone a week. He may not. It may be 2 weeks. It may be more. He may go to Disney. He may not. He might go to baseball. He might not. He is the one who set his life up to be ruled by all these challenges. And now he gets frustrated when anybody has any expectation of him whatsoever, even though he was the one that made that happen in the first place.
Stay active, stay busy, see the world.
And I don't think Adam is necessarily lying here, but I don't believe he wants to see the world. I don't think he cares at all. I think he just thinks he needs to. It needs to be something new. He needs to be away from Epic Universe. He desperately needs to get some excitement going in the channel, although International has not done that. It's not bringing in anybody new, and it's having a hard time holding on to the existing fans.
Couldn't find any baseball going on today. There are some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles over here, though, that I showed the other day. It is raining on me. I think I'm going to go inside. I'm going to go find a place I can get a cup of coffee. I probably should have brought an umbrella. My aunt said, hey, take this umbrella with you. I go, I should be okay.
Also, everything for some reason is a burden to Karen the Woo. He wants to complain about it, that he has a lack of umbrella, but when one was offered to him, would have been so easy. No, he can't be bothered.
Just a random patch of wiring, dangling down and exposed.
Not random, not exposed, and you would see a similar spool on many poles in the United States, Adam.
Underneath there, look at that. I'm not going to swim across there. I'd get swept down the stream.
I don't want Adam to get hurt, of course, but I would say if he did jump in the water and get swept down, that might even rival the bike accident.
It's small, but tasty. This trip was a little different than a lot of trips I go out on my own with. This is kind of similar to how when I went to Alani in December, early December of last year, with my mom, my dad, my sister, her husband. It's more of a family trip. Next time I go to Alani, if I'm by myself, I'll venture off and do other things around the island of Oahu.
So that's kind of interesting. Not only is Adam trying to explain away the lackluster nature of this trip, but he's also trying to explain away the Hawaii trip with his family and promising that that'll be better next time he goes. Take away all this mystery and just say what these trips are when you get there. Hey, I'm here with my family and some of their friends for 2 weeks. It's going to be a little bit different, but I still think we're going to have some fun. Each day that I go out, I'll tell you what's on the agenda, and we'll have a good time. But instead, it was, never know what we're going to get into. This is just a random Hecate day. Just stop all that. So Adam says he doesn't see himself ever coming back to Ecuador, with the exception, because he's been talking to his uncle. His uncle told him he should definitely check out the Galapagos Islands. Adam said he won't do that this year, but possibly next year. I don't think he'll ever come back to Ecuador.
He said you really need a few days or more, and it really didn't fit into the game plan of doing the family thing and their friends along with the group.
Adam then tells a pretty insufferable story about the Philly captain telling him that the Philly fanatic is from the Galapagos Islands and that Adam is going to seek out the Philly fanatic's family members and...
We're on the home stretch here in Ecuador. A couple more days. In fact, in order to get home, cannot fly out of here.
So Adam is right on the money with the trip estimation. They will be flying out on Tuesday, which should be when you are watching this video. Adam had a lot of things to say about the trip. In one of the videos that I didn't do a review of, He mentions that his goal when going to a foreign country is to have no knowledge of it, so no preparation whatsoever. That's a good way to explain away not doing prep. But then to leave that country with just a little info, just a little more familiarity. And I've yet to see Adam do that.
So I'm gonna go hang with the fam, and I'll see you in the next video. I thought I was gonna impulsively go to a soccer game. I call it football here. I played soccer when I was young at Rocky Bayou Christian School when I lived in the panhandle of Florida in Niceville. Don't really watch soccer, what they call football. Actually, the only sport I even really watch is baseball. Love baseball. I don't even consider it a sport. I just consider it something I really love. Looking forward to the baseball season coming up. But it would have been cool to go to a soccer game here. But didn't work out. You can walk across the regular bridge there. But what about this pipe bridge? What about this? It's also interesting. There's not one sign saying don't walk across this.
Well, not a pipe, not a bridge, and I think they feel like anyone with any sense whatsoever wouldn't be dumb enough to walk across it. And if you do, well, natural selection at play. And of course, all this for a feet Pete.
Signs, everywhere is signs.
And then Adam makes a Tesla joke that I'll save you from, because in the end, all you want to do is bash yourself over the head with a sign. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Aaron with Passing Through Productions. Thanks for the brief assist by Miss Lori. You've been passing through. I appreciate all of you so much.